Today I'm telling you how to be the best spotter in the gym. How to be that guy that everyone wants to spot them. You know, you have 3 people doing bench and they're all lining up wanting you to spot them. You have 5 people who are squatting all lining up for you to spot them. You get a laundry list of people that want you to spot them. Okay, maybe not actually a laundry list, but you get the point. You want to be a great spotter that people pick. You are the first choice. You aren't second choice. You aren't third choice. You are first pick. You want to be that kind of spotter. And the thing is, this video isn't going to be a tutorial. I'm not going to tell you how to spot for certain lifts because you can just search that up. Instead, I'll tell you one key concept that differentiates the great spotters from just the good spotters. You know, you can search up on any video. You can just type up, how do I spot someone for bench press? How do I spot someone for a squat or dumbbell shoulder press or whatever it is, right? You can search that all up. And I'm not here to tell you that because that would be redundant. Instead, I'll tell you how to get that quality that differentiates you from other people. How to make you as a spotter shine that much more than other people. And it's a noticeable difference, certainly, with the right people, of course. And so fundamentally, it just comes down to this one point being helping the person that you're spotting the least amount. Right? Helping them the least that you possibly can. And certainly it's a big mistake that beginner spotters will make, you know, when they see someone struggling, they will sort of panic and then they'll help them lift the entire thing up.
1, 2, yes, come on. 4, come on, 9, 10.
When potentially the person could have gotten the weight up without help or could have just used very minimal help. And so let's just take the bench press as an example, right? Let's say someone's bench pressing 5 reps total, right? They get to rep 3, alright, the rep speed is slowing down. Rep 4 is like a sizable struggle. It's not like it's taking like 4 times the amount of time to get the bar up again. Alright, so they can still get it up. And then on rep 5, right, they have it on their chest and they start pressing it up. And then it's just inching slowly and slowly and slowly. When do you help them, right? When do you help them? I would say that you would start to become cautious when their rep speed slows down considerably. Like when they're really struggling. Like, it takes experience to know this, but roughly I would say when it takes like 3 times to 4 times the regular speed of the concentric rep, that's when you should you should prepare to help them if necessary, right? Let's say if for bench press they take 1 second to push the bar up, you would be more cautious when, it takes 3 seconds to 4 seconds. Of course, I don't actually count the seconds out. It's just I notice when the bar speed slows down considerably. I was like, okay, it's slowing down. Okay, he's struggling a bit. All right, perhaps I'll need to help soon. And so it's just keeping that mental frame in mind. So, when do you exactly help them, right? You help them when the bar path goes in the opposite direction. So, for the bench press, right, say back to the example, they're on their 5th rep, and they're pushing it back up, and they're halfway up, and then the bar comes back down. That says that they have pretty much failed the rep, because if you haven't failed the rep, you're never going to go in the opposite direction. Right? You're always going to be just either in place, just trying to push harder and harder, or you're going to be progressing actively towards the end of the rep. So when the bar is moving in the opposite direction, that's when you would help them, right? And like I've said, you help them the least amount, right? So you help them with the bar, and you help them just so that they themselves can keep pushing and then get that last rep in. So it's not technically a clean rep, like solely by them, solely done by them, but it's still better than you just yanking it up, right? And so the key point is you just want to help them past that sticking point. You just want to help them pass that little tiny portion of the rep that they can't get past. Because with pretty much every single exercise out there, there's going to be a sticking point where someone's going to struggle the most and they can't get past that. But once they get past that, they can get the rest of the rep in. Right? And so the bench press is usually around the middle point of in between when the bar's on your chest and when your arms are fully extended. So it's like around like here. And pretty much every single person will appreciate this spotting style for a couple reasons. The first is that because you are giving the least amount of help, you are still presenting the greatest amount of challenge to that person. Therefore, they will have the greatest amount of hypertrophy and or strength gains from it. Instead, if you had yanked it up, if you had taken away that challenge from them, you would have basically taken away some of their gains. Right? And anyone who goes to the gym who wants their gains is not likely going to appreciate that very much. The second reason is more ego-based. The more you help someone out, the more they'll feel like, you took the control out of their hands. Because when you yank it up, you don't let them struggle. You decide that, okay, they're struggling, I'm going to do this now. You don't give them a choice, really. And it's when someone struggles, when you provide the least amount of help, that they can see themselves actually getting the rep. Because in their minds, right, if you've decided that you needed to yank it up, that means to them that it was not going to go up easily, at least. You needed to provide so much help that you needed to do this in order to get that rep up. Instead, if you provide the least amount of help, to them it means that, okay, I just need a little help. Maybe next week I'll be able to get it without that help, And certainly that also ties into the mindset, right? If you believe you can do something, you'll have much greater chances of actually doing it. Right? And so overall, if you want to be the best spotter you can ever be, just know this. Help the person you're spotting the least amount. When I'm spotting, I usually use the 1 or 2 fingers on each hand at most, right? It's like when I'm spotting someone with Smith, I usually just go like this, and that's enough. When I'm spotting for someone for bench, it's like I'll have both hands underneath the bar, but I'll provide very, very light support. Now, of course, there are some lifts that, you can't really do that, like squat. When you're spotting someone for squat, of course, you're using both of your arms. You need to, right? But for the most part, for most lifts, it's quite easy to just limit how much help you're giving them. And that's the entire point of being the best spotter you can be. Just provide the least amount of help that you can. And if you enjoyed this video, if you've learned something from this, give it a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, comment, and check out my 2 books that I've written in the description below. One is on the basics of training in the gym, basically all those things that you need to know in a gym. And the other is on nutrition, on myths, on basically misinformation, and just correcting a lot of that stuff. Also has a lot of detail on supplements and meal plans and just a lot of stuff in both books, right? And with that, I'll see you later.